Hi, everybody. I'm Debbie Belaus. I'm the owner of Qigong with Debbie. I teach Qigong, Tai Chi, yoga, and meditation. Today, I'm going to do a full practice, which means I start with the centering. Then I move into a little bit of yoga, a little bit of chair yoga for stretching. And then we'll do some Qigong for activation, and then Tai Chi for a flow. And then I'm going to end with a guided deep relaxation. So it's a complete full practice. Hopefully, I can keep this to 35 minutes. We'll see how that goes. Now, each segment you could do alone. I did two previous videos, one on the centering, which is the butterfly breath, which we're going to do again today, if you just want to do that. I also did a little video on what a shavasana is. It's the deep guided relaxation. You want to prepare for that. That is typically done on lying down, either on a couch, on a bed, on the floor. So prepare for that. Have maybe a pillow for your knees, a pillow for your head, so you can comfortably relax in that deep relaxation. I will guide you through it. I try to keep you there for maybe 5 minutes. I'll guide you out of it. And it's just a way to um, uh, kind of incorporate everything that we've just done. And so that's why it becomes a full practice. It touches on a little bit of everything. So we'll get started. We're going to start with the centering, the butterfly breath. Now, there's many different ways of doing centerings, and there's many different ways of doing these segments. But this is the way I usually do it in a live class, or when I teach my live classes online. Anyway, we're going to come with the butterfly breath. You're going to take your hands and cross them over your chest. You can also cross your thumbs. Close or soften your eyes, and the reason for that is because we're going inward. It's called a centering for a reason. We want to center our energy. We want to set the tone and set the tempo for this class. So as you close or soften your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths like you normally do, making sure you're comfortable sitting on a chair. Make sure your feet are touching the floor. Your spine can be supported maybe with a pillow behind your back. You don't want to be slouching here. You really want to be present here and in alignment. Take a couple of deep breaths and enter your space. Enter your sacred space, the quietude of the day. Just take a couple of breaths, normal breaths, and then slowly begin to start to feel the breath arrive, which means that you want to feel the breath entering your body, and you might feel an expansion in your chest, especially since your hands are there. And then as you exhale, there's a releasing. So the inhalation expands the body with the breath, and then there's an exhalation where you release the breath, the letting go. And just start there. Check in with the breath. And now we're going to set a tempo of the 4-second count. So, which means as you inhale, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, hold at the top. And then you exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold at the bottom. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. And then again, inhale, count at your own pace to 4. And then just release your hands back to your lap, just noticing how you feel. Hopefully you were able to connect to that 4-second tempo and connect it with your breath a little bit deeper. Now we're going to do a little bit of chair yoga. So I'm just going to move my chair back so you can see me. And remember, all these movements can be modified. You want to modify them for your body. Everybody's very different. So you want to modify anything that's painful, you back off or readjust it. So we're going to start with feet flat on the floor again. We're just going to bring our elbows on our thighs. You're just going to let your head hang here and just let the head decompress. Let the neck and the shoulders decompress. You can shake out the head of the neck if you like. Breathe into the back body, breathe into the back of the shoulders, the back of your neck. We're going to bring our spine into forward flexion. So this is considered a forward flexion of the spine. And then slowly curl up one vertebrae at a time. The head and the neck is the last thing to arrive and to come back up. Bring your hands behind your chair, wherever you can comfortably bring them, or to your back, your low back. And then we're going to lift up the chest up towards the ceiling for a back flexion of the spine. So you're arching the back and you're looking up. So that's the back flexion. Then bring the spine back to neutral, taking one hand to the chair, the other hand lifts up, and then we lean over to the other side for a side flexion of the spine. So we're warming up the body, getting ready for a little bit more activity. Other side, leaning over to one side for your side flexion. Now we're going to go into a twisting flexion, taking this hand gently, let this other arm just hang here, press on that little nest where your shoulder meets up with the clavicle bone, and then guide your shoulder over to the towards the back. So you're twisting the spine, it's a twisting flexion. And then bring your spine back to neutral, taking this hand, placing it on the little nest of your shoulder, and then guide it over to the other side in a twisting flexion, and bring yourself as far back as you can in that twisting flexion. So those are the 4 flexions. We're going to go through this again, leaning into a forward flexion. Drop the head of the neck if you like, shake it out a little bit. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Again, bring the hands to the back of your chair and then lift up the chest towards the ceiling for your back flexion. Bring the spine back to neutral, taking one hand up and the other arm holding onto the chair, and you're leaning over to the other side for your side flexion. Then other side, lifting up, going over to the other side for the side flexion. Release, taking this hand, gently press into that shoulder, let this arm hang, and guide it back. So you're twisting the spine now into a twisting flexion. Return back to center, other hand, and then let this arm hang, and you're twisting over to the other side. So those are your 4 flexions of the spine. Come back to neutral. We're going to drop the chin to the chest. You're going to take one ear over to the shoulder. So just letting the shoulder hang over the neck hang over toward your ear, towards your shoulder. Now from here, you can feel a stretch here on the side of the neck. And then from here, I just want you to nod forward and back with the chin. This goes a little bit deeper in those ligaments and those tendons that connect your head to your shoulder and to your neck. So we're just stretching that a little bit. That's an area that gets pretty tight for most of us. You're going to come forward again, bringing the other ear to the other shoulder, starting to stretch that side of the neck, and then nod a little bit forward and back. And that'll help with opening up a little bit deeper in the neck. And then bring the head back to neutral, and then bring the chin to your chest, open up the back of the neck again, and slowly do a rotation of the neck, slowly. And really notice where you might feel a little bit of nodding or a little bit of soreness in the neck. Really recognize these are just awareness of your body and how it's feeling right now. You really want to pay attention and be mindful of how your body's feeling today in these movements, and then bring the spine back to neutral. Now we're going to do a rotation of the spine. You're going to go into a circle, rounding around into a circle. Rotations are very good directional movement for the spinal cord. So again, we're warming up here, gently warming up the body with a little bit of stretch. You can always go back to more stretching if you feel your body needs to, and it's very good to do, stretching at least once a day. And, try to do this stuff during, you don't have to spend a whole hour doing all this. You can do segments, like I said, do segments of these different protocols, and make sure one direction that you go in the other direction as well. So that's a little bit of a warm up for the spinal cord, and getting ready for a little bit more activity when we start to do our energy Qigong series protocol. And then again, coming back to center. Legs are flat, feet are flat on the floor, arms are out in front of you. And we're just going to lean back a little bit and then come off your chair, keeping those thighs activated like you're ready to sit down in a chair. Now, if that's too much, and you're afraid to come sit back down, you can keep your hands on the chair and just hold here. But I want you to feel that activation in the thighs. Real important that the thighs are strong so you can get in and out of a chair. Again, you can just go back and forth, making sure your chair is sturdy, obviously, before you do any of these movements. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, what you want to be careful is that you're not knock-kneeing the knees. That's going to be really tough on the hips. Externally rotate. So look at your knees. If they're doing that, bring the weight on the outside edges of your feet, activating those thighs and those knees. And then we come up to standing. So we can bring the chair, keep the chair handy just in case you might need it. And we're going to go into our alignment, feeling your body, your feet touching the earth, engage your core, and then lifting up from the crown of the head, feeling that energy moving up and the energy moving down. So you're aligning your spine. Lift your shoulders up, slide the shoulder blades back, slide them down to your waist, creating a lot of space here in the upper body. We're going to start to go right into, let's go into a rotation of the whole body. Start with the feet, big circle, get those ankles lubricated, your feet, your toes, go to the other direction. So, rotations are just an overall great tonic to do on a daily basis. It lubricates the joints, especially if you have any kind of arthritis. Lubricating the joints are very, it'll take some of the pain, the rigidity out of the joints. Let's go into the hips and the knees we did it sitting down. Now we're doing it standing. And during any time you need to sit, feel free to sit. All these movements can be done on the chair. Let's bring the hands to the rib cage, feeling the rib cage in a rotation. Taking the hands to the upper rib cage, feeling the upper rib cage in a rotation. And then you can start bringing the shoulders into it. The whole body now is in a rotation, just releasing any of that tightness, grip, or any kind of low-grade pain, trying to get some movement here. And then come back to center. We're going to go into what's called shaking the 9 gates. We start with the hands, the elbows, the shoulders. You'll feel a little bit of shaking in the neck and the head. And then you can add a little bit of a bounce. Again, always watch out that you're not knocking the knees. Don't want to internally rotate the hips too much. And now we're shaking. Shaking the 9 gates helps to open those joints. Your 9 major joints are your ankles, your knees, your hips, your wrists, your elbows, and your shoulders and the neck. So we want to get some fluid moving also. We are 65% fluid, the rest of our body's mass. So we have more fluid than mass in our body. You got to move your fluids every day, especially if you're not standing enough or exercising enough. You want to move the fluids every single day. And the calf muscles help to pump your lymphatic fluid. So we have the lymphatic fluids that help flush out toxins. You have your synovial fluid for your spinal cord, synovial fluid for your joints. We have spinal cord fluids for the spine. We have cerebral fluids for the head, for the brain. We have a lot of fluids. We have blood flowing throughout us. And we've got to do this. So shaking is the quickest way to get those fluids moving, getting some activation. So this is part of our Qigong series. You're energizing the body. You're turning on your juice. You're turning on your power. You're turning on your energy. So remember, energy wants to move. It has to move. So you've got to move every single day and do movements that are healing, not harmful to your body. These are typically pretty gentle and they're not harmful. But again, if anything hurts, then you just back off of it. You readjust it for your body. And then we show up different every day. Some days we feel great, some days we don't. Just want to recognize that and be mindful of that. So we're shaking. We're going to inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Here's the purging breath. Purging breath releases toxins. 70% of your toxins are released through the exhalation of your breath. That's a lot. So if you're not breathing properly, then you're just building up toxins. They're very inflammatory toxins. So we're inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth, releasing toxins from the body. We accumulate toxins daily. So you want a daily release. It's like throwing out your garbage. Throw your garbage at it, right? You don't leave it lying around in your house, hopefully not. So that we want to do the same thing. We want to release the toxins out of our body on a daily basis. This is one sure way of doing it, and it's easy, and it's very, very effective. This is also considered rebounding. You're rebounding the body. You're shaking everything up. You're getting things stimulated and circulated for your respiratory system's getting going. You're turning on all your systems, circulatory system, and you're getting ready for your day and releasing. This also helps to release stress. So shaking does so much. It's a great overall tonic. And then stop. Hopefully you feel some activation, especially in the hands. We're going to activate a little bit more. Little fist with the hands, and you're going to move the arms forward and back. And you can add a little bounce to this as well. We're still activating here, getting your heart rate up now. You're activating major lymphatics, lymph nodes under your armpits, in the groin area, in the chest. you're releasing toxins, so you can continue with purging breath here, inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth and releasing your toxins. You're getting your blood flow again. You're still purging here. We're activating here. We're stimulating here. We're getting our energy to move in a very gentle way, in a very healing way, getting those shoulder joints lubricated as well, and your knees. And continue to breathe, inhale through the nose. And the last thing is to smile. Inner smile with the corners of the mouth up. It lifts up your spirits. And not only that, you're activating your vagus nerve. Lots of videos on the vagus nerve. It's part of your parasympathetic nervous system for your rest and digest. So it activates it by lifting the corners of your mouth up. So it's not just about smiling. You're not neurologically tapping into that vagus nerve. And then slowly bring that down. Hopefully you feel some stimulation. Now we're going to do what's called oscillating. We're just going to lift the shoulders up and down, oscillating with a lot of lymph nodes in the neck. So again, we're releasing here. You're inhaling through the nose, purging out the breath through the mouth, releasing those toxins, turning on your lymphatic system to release toxins. And because toxin buildup creates inflammation, inflammation creates pain, pain can turn into disease. We don't want that to happen. You want to get something, stop something in its infancy. So that's why we're doing all this. These are general tonics that you should, I don't like you should, these are tonics that would be helpful to try to add into your routine during the day. And then slowly bring that down. Hopefully you feel lots of stimulation. Let's inhale and draw up that earth energy. Lift the palms up, look up at the ceiling, and slowly bring the hands down. So you're taking all this energy and you're just moving it through you. We're going to add some more activation with the hands. Activate your hands, briskly rub them together. Rub your knuckles together briskly, rub your fingernails briskly, and then you should get a lot of energy in those palms. Then we're going to tap our head. We're working meridian lines. You don't need to know about them all, but they are energy lines in the body. This is also about stimulation. This is also helping with your proprioceptors, the things that help you navigate your place in space. We're smiling. We're activating the brain. We're going to tap around the eyes, tap around the mouth and the jaw and the ears, back of the neck, back of the low part of the occiput bone, that's very hard bone at the end of your skull, and then tapping the back of the neck. Bring it to the throat, the esophagus, right to the chest. You can tap this whole area of the chest. You don't want to get any fluid build up here, which I'm actually starting to get. It's getting a little bit humid here, so I'm starting to feel a little bit of a buildup of fluid on my lungs. Don't want that to happen. We're going to tap that thymus gland for your immune system. We tap down the inside. Now you can use a little fist. You can use the whole hand. You can also rub. You can use a little bird's beak, where you're just going directly a little bit sharper. Whatever feels good. We're just tapping the inside of the arm, your hands, outside of the hands, up the outside of the arm, the elbow to the back of the shoulder blade. You're going to tap the side of the neck, bring it right to the other side of the nose. One arm comes behind you, tap around your breast tissue, tap underneath the armpit, lots of lymph nodes here, also your heart meridian, tap down the side of your rib cage. So we're doing a lot here. This is also for stimulation. We want to stimulate our body. We want to stimulate all these systems. Turn on your applications for health. Get them going. They go dormant. If you don't use it, you lose it. So we're activating some of dormancy, perhaps, to your health, things that you haven't done in a while, maybe different movements you haven't done in a while. Will activate some of that dormancy so the body can feel refreshed, so you can repair it, renew it, rebuild it. And we're tapping down the side of the rib cage, and we're going to tap the whole trunk of our body. What do we have in here? All your organs are in here, so we're activating, stimulating it with this vibration, helping to stimulate your body. We're going to tap in the front of the hips. We're going to tap the side of the hips. We're going to tap the glutes. You're going to rub your kidneys and jump up and down 10 times on your heels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tap down the backs of your legs. Stay at the backs of your knees. Lots of lymph nodes here. Activate them down the calves, down to the ankles, around the feet, tap the feet, tap on the inside of the legs, all the way up to the groin. We're going to tap down the side of the legs now, all the way down to the ankles and the feet to give them some slapping and tapping. And then we come up the front of the legs Tapping here, and then you're going to tap all around the abdominals. We've got lots of lymph nodes here as well. So we're tapping, activating, tap, 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 and then you're going to slap and tap the groin, getting those lymphatic fluids moving and those lymph nodes to do their job to release any toxins that have built up. And then hold. Hopefully you feel stimulated. Now let's rise up this energy for the day. Rise up your spirits for the day. Look up. Hopefully you can do this outside. It's beautiful to do this outside. Look all around you, looking up, looking around to the side, moving this energy, getting it going, getting it flowing all the way around and then back to center. Let's bring our hands to our thighs again, a little bit more action of the move flexion. So arch the back, round the spine. We did this sitting, we're doing this standing, just move it forward and back, getting some stimulation here. Come forward, hang out here, decompress. If your low back feels okay, you can release all the way to the floor. Just decompress the spine, decompress your shoulders, and the head and the neck. If your back hurts, forward folds are not good for backs that are tender. They can actually exacerbate bad back, so be careful with that. Just don't go past your hips when you're coming to a forward bend. And then we're slowly rising up, stacking each vertebrae on top of each other as you come back to center. Let's do a little bit of side stretch. Interlace the fingers, press down, nice stretch for the fingers. I love this one. Lift them up. You want to keep the dexterity of your fingers, real important. You don't lose your grip. And then bring that forward stretch, bring them above your head, come on the toes a few times. Then lean over to one side and do that side flexion of the spine a few more times. And then over to the other side, side flexion of the spine. And then we're going to release the arms. And now we're going to a full twist. This is called knocking on the door of life. If you get dizzy moving the head around, then just keep the head centered. So we're knocking on the door of life. We're twisting the spine into a twisting flexion. You can also tap the lungs again for some more stimulation for the lungs. Can't hurt to do that. And we're smiling and we're moving energy. We're moving our energy. We're moving our body. These are all healing ways to repair the body from any past injuries or just dormancy, getting some activity, stimulation, circulation, getting everything going, and then slowly bring that down. Let's gather that energy again, lift up, looking up, and let that energy move through you, creating a release of toxins, a release of any discomfort. You're releasing because you opened up the body. We stimulated the body. We released the toxins. We're going to get ready for a little bit of TaiChi. We want to bring the body into a flow, a soft flow with a 4-second tempo to move the energy in a soft and slow way, moving this energy. So we activated the energy, and now we're going to move it through the system in one continuous flow. Let's bring the legs together. This is called opening the flow. So now we're coming into our TaiChi piece. Step one leg out to the side. As you inhale, or just lift the arms up, shoulder height, release the arms, bend the knees slightly, and bring the arms down. So we don't want to be rigid here. Really relax the hands, bring them down. 4-second tempo, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the tempo we're going to try to use in these TaiChi flows. TaiChi is a very slow moving protocol. It's a mindfulness. It's a meditation in motion because you're mindfully moving. We're feeling the energy moving through your fingers. You're lifting up from the shoulders and then the arms. Shift back into the heels, bend the knees a little bit. And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, down. This time we're going to cross the arms in front of us, lift them up and out, bend those knees, crossing over, lifting up, release, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-second tempo. Lifting up the energy, crossing it over. This is called separating, harmonizing the yin and the yang. Lifting up and releasing. This time, this arm is down and this one is up, separating heaven and earth. We come back to the center and we switch hands, separating heaven and earth. Directional movement, energy goes down and energy goes up. So that's what we're doing. We're separating the energy, mindfully moving the body, breathing, smiling, moving the energy. It's like you're having a dance with the energy. You're moving it in many different directions. Everything's soft and fluid. Now this time we're going to take this hand and then you start to bring it crossing over to the other side. This hand behind you comes behind you. See if you can look behind you. We come back to center and we're coming to the other direction. One arm is pushing to one direction. The other arm is behind you. And we're twisting the spine. So energy likes to twist. So we're twisting the energy. Soft gaze. You can look at your hands if you'd like. Use your eyes and follow the direction with your eyes. Maybe you can see a little bit further behind you. And then back to center. Over to the other side. And then back to center. Fingertips are pointing up. We're going to lift the arms up. And then bring the fingertips down. So this is called spiraling or silk reeling. So we're inhaling and then we spiral the hands back down. Spiraling up and then bringing the energy down. Soft flow, inhaling, exhaling, gather, inhaling, exhaling back down into the earth, inhaling and exhaling. This time the backs of the hands come together. We're lifting up. This is called the fountain and then out to the side. Drop that water element, the fountain, let it sprinkle all around you. Drawing up and releasing. Drawing up and releasing. And then one more, inhale, drawing up and releasing. Let's take the legs out a little bit wider. Arms come out to the side, palms are faced up. And then we bend one knee, we lean over to the other side. This is called rainbow dancer. Over to the other side, a little bit of a side bend as well. Inhaling, exhaling, keeping that 4-second tempo in your movements. You're mindfully moving the body through air, through space, moving the energy from side to side, back and forth, side to side, back and forth, side to side, and then back to center. We're going to separate the clouds to reveal the sun, a little bit of a back bend here, and there's another crossover here. So we're separating the clouds to reveal the sun. You're moving that energy around you. But at the same time, you're working your shoulders and your arms and your thighs. You're crossing over the energy all around you. We'll do a couple more. We're going to try to move in many different directions. Body wants to move in many different directions. And then settle that. Bring the palms of the hands together. We're going to drop the arms down to this one side, lift them up, come to the other side and drop them down. This is called swimming dragon. So you're bringing the spine into a figure 8. You're also bringing the spine into a coiling. And you're moving, imagine yourself moving through water, cutting the water, lifting up, and then going back down into the water. Lifting up and going back down. Remember, keep it to that 4-second tempo, moving the spine in many different directions. This is a spiral. If you want to take the spiraling up, take it up over the head and feeling that spiraling, that coiling in your vertebrae. Moving the energy smoothly, mindfully, breathing, smiling, and enjoying the ride. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy moving in ways that open up your body softly, gently, with complete mindfulness as you go from side to side in the swimming dragon. And then return back to center. We're going to bring the legs back together. You're going to take this arm and bring it in front of you. This hand is right underneath. This is called catching the moon. Soft knees, take one foot out to the side. Catch the moon and then spin the moon. Catch the moon and spin the moon. Catch the moon, and this time take this hand, bring it behind you, and then step out to the side and toss the moon. Bring it back in. Toss the moon. Bring it back in and toss the moon. Bring it back in and toss the moon. The hand that's behind you, bring it around, and now we split the moon. Big circle here, catch the moon, and then split the moon. Catch the moon, split the moon. Catch the moon, split the moon. Catch the moon and hold it here, and then stir the moon. Stir it all the way around. Stirring the moon. Whole body's engaged as you stir the moon. Now this time you're going to lean back, and then we're pushing the moon, and then let it retreat in. Push the moon. So we're kind of playing with this moon idea, this moon of energy. We're moving the energy forward and back. The whole body's engaged. You're leaning forward. You're leaning back. 4-second tempo, soft and smooth. Come back to center and then catch the moon. Spin the moon. Catch the moon on this side. Spin the moon. And then catch the moon. Step one leg out to the side. This hand's going to come behind you. Then we toss the moon. Bring it back in. Toss the moon. Bring it back in. Toss the moon. Bring it back in. Take this other hand, and now we're going to split the moon. Big circle, catch the moon, and then split the moon. Catch the moon, and then split the moon. Catch the moon, and split the moon. Catch the moon, and split the moon. Catch the moon again, and then circle. Stir the moon all the way around. Stir the moon. One continuous movement. Slowly, effortlessly, but very dynamic. You're moving the energy. And then this time, we're going to push the moon and then bring it back in. Push the moon and bring it back in. Push the moon and bring it back in. And then push the moon and bring it back in. One more. Push the moon, settle in, come back to center and settle in. So now that we've got this energy of the moon, separate the legs, and now we're going to gaze at the moon. So we're coming over to one side, you're gazing at the moon. Come back to the center and then gaze at the sun. Back to center, gazing at the moon. Back to center, gazing at the sun. Back to center, gazing. Back to center, and gaze. Back to center. Little fist with the hands. We're going to do a circle. Turning the wheel. Again, do it slow and gentle, mindful. You're moving the energy in a circle all around. So you're shifting to one side, you're lifting the arms, good rotation. If you want, you can come all the way to the floor as long as that feels okay on your spine. Going into a full circle, directional movement, all the way to the top and turn it to the other direction. Circle, wheel, turns. Really good for your low back. You're moving the energy in a large circle all around you. And then come back up again and just let that settle in. Let the whole thing just settle in. And then bringing the legs back in, we're going to lift the arms up. This is called Phoenix Rises from the Ashes. And then you shift back down. So we're inhaling, we're drawing up. And coming down, bending those knees. A little bit of a balance here. The next time, take one toe on, just dip the toe in the water and back down. Tip the toe in the water and back down. And then maybe you can lift one leg up and then down. Lifting up, ready for flight, and return. Lifting up, ready for flight, and return. Lifting up, and return. We're going to do the other side first, just the arms, lifting up, return. The next time, tap the toes and down. Tap the toe and down. If you want to challenge yourself, lift the knee up, standing on one leg, standing like a rooster on one leg. Lifting up, everything lifts up and down. It's kind of like you're taking flight. You're balancing, you're shifting the weight from side to side. Easy. Easy. And then one more, easy. And release. We're going to lift up again the energy, lift it and gather it, and then restore it. Bring it through your body, restoring yourself back to factory level. Inhale, gather, and restore. And then we're going to wash yourself with this healing energy. So we gather the energy, and then just kind of massaging it down, let it pour down, the energy just pour down, wiping the slate clean. And any residue, leftover residue, lift it up, cleaning out the system with this energy. Lift up, take it down again. You're just pouring down this healing white energy, cleaning out your system. Draw up from the earth and draw in that earth energy. Gather the sun and the moon and the cosmo energy. Gather it and move it through. Remember, we're energy beings. And we're part of nature, so gather that energy from below you, lift it up, gather it all around. And then we're going to bathe in the breath. So we're gathering the energy, we're gathering the breath, and let it move through you. So a circle, bathing yourself in your clean energy that you've restored, that you cultivated. You're gathering it and moving it through you. A clean breath. Energy, oxygen, bathing yourself in this energy all around you, moving it through you, in you, and around. And then just let that settle, slowly settle in. Bringing the hands to your belly. We're going to go from side to side like a bamboo in the wind, releasing any residue of tension or tightness or gripping. Let it go. Let it go and let it flow. Feeling that burst of energy moving through you again. Nothing in your way of feeling your wonderful self. Releasing stress, releasing any pain or discomfort, and just enjoying this moment of mindfulness, moving the energy, gathering the energy, restoring the energy, and then grab some energy on the side, bring it right down the center line of your body, creating a balance of not only your physical body, but the emotional body, your energy body, your spirit body. We're gathering, creating a balance, body, mind, spirit, and energy, feeling balanced and open and feeling well. And now we're going to transition into our Shavasana, the guided restoration relaxation. So finding somewhere where you're comfortable. I'm going to take myself off video so you're not distracted and you can just listen to my voice. You want to feel comfortable for this deep relaxation. Making sure pillows under your knees for your low back and something's under your head. So this transition into this deep rest will help to integrate everything you've just done, the centering, the yoga, Qigong, and the Tai Chi. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out. And then begin to lengthen the exhalation with as little effort as possible. Let the exhalations continue to release the kidney area to the floor and the belly towards the inside of the sacrum. Let the exhalations become full enough that the inhalations feel almost like a reflex response to the exhalations. Release the skin of the neck, the root of the tongue, and the root of the jaw towards the collarbones. As you do this, you may also feel the ear canals broaden and deepen. You may then begin to feel that the ear canals deepen so much that they join the feeling of void created by the release of the throat. Deepen this experience of void by relaxing the soft palate towards the top of the head. Let the eyes and the brain sink back into this void. Progressively relinquish all involvement with the physical body, the thoughts, and emotions. Eventually, the only experience of self remaining will be the supplest thread of the breath. Another way of saying this is let every part of your body sink below the floor except your heart. Let the heart float as a passive breath breathes you. And then take your heart into a vast field and just let it breathe. As you relax here in this posture of Shavasana, I will have you here for 5 minutes and then I will guide you out of it. So enjoy this 5 minutes of deep relaxation. And begin to release this posture of Shavasana. Unless you want to linger longer, feel free to do that. Maybe you have time for a nap. But if you do want to transition out of this, slowly move your hands or your feet, your head and your neck. Make movements slowly, come over to one side in a fetal position as you rest there for a breath. And then when you're ready, slowly begin to come back to sitting, maybe back into your chair. Close or soften your eyes once you come back and just experience how you feel in this practice of the centering, the yoga, Qigong and Tai Chi, and the deep rest. And if you feel wonderful, and I hope you do, then try to come back to this practice as often as you can. And we'll bring the palms of the hands together as you seal this practice. Maybe set an intention for your day, something like, today I invite into my life. What is it you need? Ask. Ask the universe for what you need. You're nice and wide open now, so ask. Today I invite into my life. And it could be something as simple as just peace or health, gratitude. And thank you all for joining me in this practice. I hope to see you soon again, and I wish you well and good health. Thank you.